Nikunj Bhaia from Neptune Group. Nikunj is many things to many people and wears multiple hats. I'll start from Nikunj itself. Nikunj, what do you do? How did you end up what you're doing? If you can take our audience through the journey.
So Neptune as a group started in 1968 by my grandfather. I'm the third generation into the business. And we have been manufacturing extrusion machines for pipes. So that's been quite a journey. And stepping into IoT was a big thing back in 2020. That is something that we'll be talking about today.
Right. Start. Could you give Nikunj, you mentioned IoT. Could you give a quick glance on what IoT is all about?
So IoT in simple terminology ये है कि everything is connected and तुमको real time पे data मिल रहा है. Just to give you a perspective, Arun, if I just quickly want to ask, तुम्हारे पास तुम्हारे phone records में कितने doctors के number है?
1 second, I'll make a quick check. I think they all start with the word doctor itself. I have total 17 contacts.
Okay, so out of the 17 contacts, Arun, can you give me one doctor who deals in postmortem? मेरे को postmortem का एक doctor का चाहिए number. I'll be surprised कि अगर तुम्हारे पास होता. But anyhow, so that's IoT in a very simple language. So IoT basically brings in real-time information and real-time data. तो क्योंकि हर एक system या machine connected है, that gives you access to what is going on currently in your either production setup or whatever system that you've connected with internet.
Fair enough. You mentioned about how you're using IoT to solve the problems. Let's discuss the problems first and then solve how IoT comes to the rescue. What are the exact problems that you're solving, Nikunj, for the pipe manufacturing?
Okay, so pipe manufacturing is a niche domain and it encompasses all kinds of pipes that we're talking about. Jitne bhi pipes hai, sab covered hai. So I'll quickly give you a perspective on, so this IoT and this thought of IoT started in 2020, where my uncle and I was sitting and watching a video of Yuval Harari, and he was talking about IoT, and that was quite a buzzword in those times. And since we had the time, we gave it time, and that's how the thought churned in. And हम ये डिस्कस कर रहे थे कि हम ये पेन एरियाज हम लोग के इंडस्ट्री में कोई ऐसा एग्जिस्ट करता है जो हम लोग इससे सॉल्व कर सकते हैं. So just brainstorming on that, we spoke to a lot of manufacturers, and I'll quickly share 4 common challenges that most of the pipe manufacturers agreed that they face in the pipe production setup. So हमने सबसे पहले premise start किया था कि management और pipe manufacturers का stress हटाना है, and we have to devise some method in which we can boost profits for them. क्योंकि ये pipe का business बहुत commodity business बनते जा रहे हैं, margins बहुत shrink होते जा रहे हैं. So we conducted this survey with 137 pipe manufacturers globally, and हमने देखा कि ये 4 common problem most of them face in the pipe production setup. जो पहला चैलेंज है कि हमेशा एक कांस्टेंट स्ट्रगल रहता है टू गेट एक्यूरेट एंड रिलायबल रिपोर्ट्स फ्रॉम द प्रोडक्शन डेटा, बिकॉज जो राइट साइड में आपको इमेज दिख रहा है कि दे आर ट्रेडिशनली रिटन ऑन पीसेस ऑफ पेपर और रजिस्टर्स, फिर उसको MIS शीट्स में चढ़ाया जाता है, एंड दैट्स हाउ रिपोर्ट्स आर मेड इन मोस्ट ऑफ द फैक्ट्रीज. एंड ये रियल टाइम कभी पॉसिबल नहीं होता है सिंस इट इज मैनुअली मेड, और जिसके कारण डिलेड रिव्यू होता है, दैट गिव्स अस लेस रिजल्ट्स. The second challenge of overweight कि operator जो machine handle कर रहा है उसको real time पे कभी पता नहीं चलता है whether the pipe is overweight or not. Although उसको पता है कि अगर overweight pipe आता है तो क्या करना है, but उसको real time पे पता नहीं चल पाता है, इसीलिए वो corrective action ले नहीं पाता. The third challenge of underweight pipe complaints, which happens very very less, but जब भी होता है या एक pipe underweight जो market में चले जाता है, it creates a havoc or creates a tiff between the sales team and the production team. And because of this underweight complaints or low wall thickness pipe that goes to the market, it spoils the brand reputation of the company, and also often the consignments gets held up and there are payment delays. The fourth challenge of raw material reconciliation की raw material जो है वो kg में है, and pipe जैसे ही बनता है, all the manufacturers are accounting for it in meters, because बिकता भी pipe मीटर में है, अकाउंटिंग भी मीटर में होता है, and everything as soon as the pipe is made is done in meters. So it is very difficult on a daily basis to reconcile the material, the raw material and the finished pipes and the scrap at the end of the day. तो ये चार common set of problems हैं जो हम लोग accumulate किए, and most of the pipe manufacturers agreed, 99.99% pipe manufacturers agreed that they are facing this problem. And that is how we arrived at a solution to this problem, with a caveat कि ये affordable automation होना चाहिए. Affordable का मतलब ये है कि 6 से 9 महीना में इसका अगर ROI निकल जाएगा, then only it is affordable. Otherwise, ये manufacturer के लिए solution नहीं.
Great. Nikunj, does any similar solution exist anywhere in the world? And if there is, why is it not there in India yet?
So surprisingly, and probably being talking to a lot of people, we found that there are weighing solutions available, but on a real-time basis and IoT coupled with it, there is no solution available, to our surprise. So we did tweak and turns and made it a retrofit attachment. Problem ये भी था कि कोई एक अगर मैं तुम मेरा equipment लोगे और मेरा equipment use करोगे तभी ये feature available. We wanted to make a standalone equipment that fits all. So no matter what extrusion lines you are currently using, there is an equipment that is a retrofit attachment that you can attach to your existing line and draw data and connect it to internet. So the only improvisation that we did, and as in monitored over a period of time till we had success, is building a retrofit system and integrating with any extrusion line that you have.
Okay, so the earlier solutions were not compatible to all kinds of machineries, and your solution is compatible to probably all kinds or most kinds of machinery.
Right, and the more important point, it is linked to the internet, showing you real-time data. जो भी existing systems थे, that was only showing you data on a HMI screen which disappeared in 1 second. So there was no relevance and no data communication between all stakeholders in the production setup.
Right. Nikunj, talking about IoT, I have had some experience in working on different kinds of technologies, and my personal experience is typically every technology clubs with certain other technologies as well to create a larger impact. Does IoT work in a similar way, where you are working on similar other technologies to club along with IoT to make a larger impact?
So IoT is just a stepping stone. So it is the first point of collection of data. So jaise data, we get more data, we have more data to play with. So just giving a perspective from a pipe manufacturing setup per view, कि अगर आपके पास एक मशीन का पूरा डेटा आ जाता है in a platform or in a dashboard that we've constructed, and we get the data of a second machine also. So once you have the data in place, you can actually make comparisons to see which size you should run on which machine going forward, which gives you best productivity, which gives you lower downtime, what is the average output utilization that you are having over a period of time. So all these insights on a larger scale that you wouldn't be knowing if you didn't have the data, that makes a larger impact in a perspective of things where you are looking at the factory at a larger level with whole data at your fingertips. Okay.
Nikunj, do you see a faster adoption of this technology? And if not, why do you think it needs a faster adoption in the overall scheme of things?
So fast, there is no way out in terms of, I believe that in the next 5 years, all SMEs being dependent on manpower will be jumping towards IoT as the first step of having access to real-time data. क्योंकि हम लोग के जितने भी the devices around us, our smartphones, our smart TVs, smart fridge, smart watches, we are all surrounded by smart devices all around. Sadly, most of the SME factories are not smart. We are still maintaining pieces of paper and doing with the old traditional systems. So people now are having the mindset, especially after COVID, of digitalizing things, and जो लोग नहीं भी सोच रहे हैं, now once they get to know that this kind of technology exists, they are wanting to try. So एक बार once they get access and once they get the touch feel of things, it will. There's no doubt in my mind that it will speeden up things. One just small issue with the whole management part, and this product is mainly for the management. To keep it is giving you a transparent view of what is happening in your factory without any manual intervention. That is the power of IoT. So there is no dependence on manpower कि वो manpower आपको collect करके accumulate करके assemble करके देगा data. You are having direct data from the machine source, which is transparent and giving you real-time data of whatever is happening in the production floor.
Right, fair enough. Great to hear someone talking passionately about technology, especially as you rightly said, our SMEs are yet not fully smart. They're quite intelligent, but not smart yet. So great to see young entrepreneurs coming up with such technologies. Nikunj, where do you see major growth opportunities as far as the whole evolvement of IoT and other tech products is concerned in Indian manufacturing at large?
So a great question, Arun. So just giving you, so this was the first, so we formed this division 2 years back, with the perspective, since we had a leverage in the pipe industry, we first wanted to experiment and solve problems through IoT at large, that mainly catered to the pipe industry. But with the number of industries or number of business owners that I'm interacting with in various sectors, they have all common set of problems that can be solved with IoT, because it again brings in transparency and real-time data that makes decision making much more easy. So just 6 months back, we experimented a product or a solution for the FMCG industry, which was battling with similar issues of real-time data and not having access to data in a timely manner that helped them to execute decisions. So I think the industry is shaping up to automation and IoT at a very large picture, and it has a very promising picture with adoption of IoT and automation technologies in the next 5 years is very, very eminent, especially in focusing on SME.
Right. My last question, Nikunj, to a list of young people working on technology to do with Indian manufacturing, what would be your one message? What message do you want to give to entrepreneurs who are working anything to do with technology in Indian manufacturing? Do you see any lessons that you have learned from your stint, which others can benefit from?
Great question again. So Arun, if I transparently put, it was like when we launched the solution, ये concept selling पे ज़्यादा work करा था. So anywhere where we presented this, people were excited to adopt it. But at a floor level, at an operational level, there are challenges that you overcome. So when these IoT systems are put on the floor, it gave much more transparency to the management and the supervisors in place. So that was not a comfortable situation for the people at the floor, because previously the situation was different, and now without their interaction or intervention, they were the management or the supervisor was getting a set of data that was not previously available. So you have to again balance it. It is not to catch hold of the operator or the people working at the floor. It is on one way, it is helping the operator or the people at the floor to boost productivity and focus on more productive tasks rather than routine tasks which can be catered by the machines. But on the other hand, it will boost the productivity of the entire shop floor and the production system that is in place. So as an entrepreneur, you have to be a little patient and interact with the users, convince the users that it is for the benefit of them and not to harm them or expose them in any way. So, and the management also has to be involved in the whole process of executing it. So thoda patience game hoega, because it's a new thing, and especially when something new comes up, it has to be handled in a very patient manner. Getting a 360-degree feedback is exceptionally important in this scenario, because at the end the users have to use it well enough to give them productivity and give them results at a larger level.
Great. So the larger point is you have to befriend all the stakeholders in an organization. This is not a tool to kind of bear open the weaknesses, but rather to work on areas of improvement. And it's not with management and against an operator, but it is supposed to take everybody into confidence, is the larger message, if I'm able to get it correct.
Right, absolutely.
Great message. I'm sorry, I have another last question, and I promise this will be the last. What are your future plans, Nikunj?
So as I was telling you, pipe is one of the focus areas that we have been, because we had leverage to this industry. But we have already stepped into the FMCG sector, where we are working with reputed companies, solving again a different set of challenges. But yeah, it has to be a solution-oriented approach to problems that an industry faces. It cannot be generic that IoT applies to all. It should solve a problem at a larger from a larger perspective, and then only it will be adopted by a mass scale of people running in the same industry. So the problem has to be validated by a lot of, or a set of users in the industry, and then only a solution should be made to basically progress forward. So the future looks bright, and I'm looking at quite a number of sectors that we will be willing to step in to cater to a larger audience.
Brilliant, Nikunj. It was amazing talking to you, get your insights. We hardly talk of technology as far as machineries and manufacturing is concerned. It was very insightful. Thanks a lot for your time, Nikunj.